what they're doing.
All right, time now for Better Pets.
Buying dog food can be overwhelming with all the different brands and the promises to keep your furry friend healthy.
Dr. Andrea Dennis is here to help us put some reading labels to the test and see how some ideas on how to buy food based on your dog's age and activity. Even with the cat food, Doc, it's just so confusing out there. I don't know what to buy. I can just imagine.
Do we have to go to the pet store? Can we buy it at the grocery store? Are the big brands okay? Are they not okay? Yeah.
Those are all great questions, and really we're going to talk about dogs and cats.
Okay.
You know, and I have some graphics showing both, and I do think it's very important to sort of realize the differences. You know, some people just starting with canned food over dry food, what's better? And even something like that, I tell people, like some people just are so turned off to canned food.
Yeah.
They don't want to open it, they don't want to touch it. So then dry food is excellent.
Okay.
Or do a mixture if you want to try to feel
a little mixture of dry and wet.
I think what we've learned with cats is that some canned food can be very beneficial. So it helps with their kidneys, it helps reduce chances of diabetes. So I like the mixture. That's what I do with my
I like to give them the dry food because I think it helps clean their teeth.
It does. And back in the 90s, we were pretty much just pushing dry food, but I think we've learned, yeah, for the teeth, but I think we sort of like now reversed our ways a little bit.
Okay.
And say, you know, the combination is actually better. And that's why some people, that's what you're talking about, the confusion. There's the over-the-counter food.
Right.
And it's, the thing I would stress is that if you have a puppy or a kitten, you really want to buy puppy and kitten food. It's very important. It's so different in terms of their levels of protein, you know, calcium and phosphorus to help their bones. So that I would always make sure that when they're a year or less for a cat, kitten food, and for a puppy food.
Just a year or less.
Yes.
So is there any benefit to buying the kitten food as they get older?
No, and you're actually doing a little bit too much harm because there's a little bit too much protein in there and
calcium. I always wondered if I buy kitten food for an adult cat, what's going to happen.
Well, you know, and sometimes when you have an adult and a kitten at the same time, I tell people don't panic if they eat each other's food a little bit. But after that year, it really will be so much more healthier. Less calories, it's better. Okay. And then we do have some illnesses that we see all the time, you know, in terms of pets that we have to put on special food. Those are prescription foods, and that's where you get your true guidance from your veterinarian. They're restricted, like in kidney failure, they're restricted in protein, so you have to go get actually a prescription to buy that type of food.
Okay.
And then, believe it or not, I'm not against homemade diets. People can do homemade diets if they believe in that they want the best ingredients and they want to cook for their animal. But make sure you get a professional to help guide you with those homemade diets.
Right, I remember you drove me to a website where you actually give the breed, the age, and they'll send you back the right thing, because you can't just give your cat or your dog like what you're eating.
They're sardines, for instance.
Do you have a label you want us to look at?
Well, yeah, we just want to look at how overwhelming labels can be. And I brought this little bag, which is a little bit too difficult.
Wow. Yeah.
But this one is a good example. It talks about, this was advertised as a wild boar diet. Okay. And people get a little bit confused. You really want to look at the top 5 ingredients. So you see wild boar is the first ingredient. Then it's chicken broth. So if you have an animal that's allergic to chicken, you're sort of confused and doing the wrong thing when you buy the wild boar diet. So and then you see there's chicken and turkey, so there's many more types of protein in that food than just the wild boar. And then it gets a little bit overwhelming, and don't worry about the rest of the things that are on the label. I was at a party last week and my jokes fell flat and they called me a wild boar. Thank you.
Okay. So can I just ask you, as human beings, they keep telling us to buy things with simpler ingredients that we can pronounce. Is it not the same with pets? Is it totally different?
No, there is. I mean, a lot of them, there are some things that we need to do preservative-wise. You know, so if you have a big bag of food, you can't just have always the freshest ingredients in there. But yes, I do think it's to read a simple label is really the best thing that you can do. And I like making sure, always seeing what that protein is and making sure that it's a good quality protein. Not just chicken meal. Make sure there's real chicken or turkey.
We have about a minute. What else?
Okay. Well, I wanted the calories. What I think is very important, I think we have a couple of graphics that really show the calories.
Okay.
There can be a huge difference in cat food.
See, I never
like most adult cat food is like 420. That says 420 calories per cup. And that's a lot of calories. And most cats are not outside. They're not in the wild. They're not exercising outside. So then we've got this one that's a little bit more. This is 100 calories less per cup. Okay. And that's adult hairball, so you help with the hairball, and weight control. So if you learn anything today, it's always look at that calorie content first and foremost.
And we have one dog label?
There's a dog label here, and the thing is that we're sort of falling into the trap of people adding like extra things like glucosamine in food or chondroitin sulfate. And I just want to make the point, that's on the bottom of the list there.
Okay.
And I just want you to make sure that you really look at that closely, because that's not enough glucosamine for your dog. So don't really use a food to supplement what you should be giving orally, like in a tablet.
If your doctor says you need
to use the guidance. So I know it's a little bit overwhelming, but
we got a lot of good information.
Okay. Thank you.
Sounds great.
All right, and as a reminder, you want more information, Dr. Dennis is the owner of the Bloomfield Animal Hospital on Old Windsor Road in Bloomfield.
On alternating Saturday afternoons from 2 to 3, she's taking listener questions during Pet Talk on WTIC 1080 radio, so tune in for that if you